about 4% hoarser than usual.
Stop. It's a good match, man. You got to catch it. All right, so we're going into map number 2. It's going to be Oregon. And wow. Space Station don't want to deal with that again.
Space Station's like, nah. no more Blackbeard Maverick. We're getting rid of the Maverick.
Forget about that. Although I would say that on this map, I think the... I would say that you're probably going to want to get the Blackbeard. I think the reason they banned the Maverick instead of the Blackbeard, if it's something you don't want to deal with the combo, is because of the basement defense, so you can mute jam more efficiently. There's going to be Thatcher, though, so...
I mean, they did it because, as we have said, and I believe this is on a T-shirt idea of mine, Bosco Blackbeard win round.
It's true. I mean,
in particular on this map as well, I want to say, is when we saw him Blackbeard, it's like, it's the break in case of emergency button. They just put Bosco on the beard.
Break glass in case of emergency?
Yes.
And there's Blackbeard in there?
And it's
Bosco's
got
grabbing
Bosco's face on it.
Hey, if you know how to do Photoshop, or GIFs, or anything like that.
Or it's just something.
It's a strat right there.
Something, you know.
Yeah.
We're giving you free content.
Mm-hmm.
We're giving it away.
Well, I mean, no, it's dependent, though, on that actually being the case here in this match. It's dependent on Space Station and specifically Bosco actually bringing that out. So we'll see if it happens.
I mean,
Slash is going to.
I feel like we haven't seen him in so long. Slash is going to actually 6-pick off.
Oh!
Onto the glass, Michael.
Oh!
Onto the glass.
Double smokes with a glass. That's a potent combination there from Rogue. Also, this is a great set of tools to attack onto the basement. Everything here from Rogue looks good right now. There are also, I believe it was Ying being banned out, so makes sense why that's not there.
So you could say that you can break glass in case of emergency.
Ha! Actually didn't catch the defender bans.
Oh my gosh, Michael.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I was frolicking in the grass over there.
What?
I don't know. I was trying to come up with some random distraction. I don't know why my head went that direction.
It's Mira and Maestro.
Mira and Maestro.
Rogue banned Maestro.
Okay.
Shocker. Specifically just to try and counter Redeemer. Put him on the Echo instead.
So this is the same defenders.
Redeemer's effectiveness on Echo and not on Maestro, it drops. It really does drop. He is scary on Maestro.
These are the same defenders that were banned last match.
That is correct.
The last map, I guess.
And are I believe, the exact same defenders that were banned through the entire phase NIP match.
Really? Oh yeah, no, you're right. Maestro and Mira. Mm-hmm. So we personally have not casted a single map that doesn't have Maestro and Mira ban.
But that's the way that we found it all season, right? Is that I mean, every single time since Maestro was basically created and operator bans were created, there's so little flexibility on the defender bans in comparison to the attacker bans, I find.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's the truth. It's the truth. I mean, you look at the top 5 banned for both attackers and defenders, and you'll notice that the defender top 5 bans, I mean, the percentages are incredibly high.
Top 5 most banned operators, you'll never guess what's number 3.
No, but...
No, but seriously, number 3 is Mira, I think?
Yeah. Maestro, Mira, you're going to get those banned quite a lot. And so far at this event, it's not super surprising. It's just, hey, look at that. Neat. Maestro and Mira haven't been played. Whatever. It doesn't really matter, I suppose. Again, this attack so far from Rogue has been decently efficient. They have to deal with some roamers that are still in Meeting Hall, though, from Space Station. And those roamers are actually really well established. It looks like the glass has been down. Must have been Thinking Nade challenging him, or potentially a C4 from somewhere we didn't notice. No, likely the bandit challenging. So good job to do 50 damage to the glass. Would have been better if he had gotten him, of course, but hey, damage is damage, and he took none in return.
They'll pick up the glass, no problem, and then be able to move on from there. Using Eclipse on that Thermite, they're able to open up the side wall and now look all the way down in towards the half wall down. In Closet, it is often referred to as... Now keep in mind that you don't have a Mira, so you can't really play inside of that closet, but you also don't have a Maestro, so you can't even put an Evil Eye up there.
Yeah.
I would imagine that you've likely got Chala bringing the bulletproof camera and putting it down on that wall, but I don't know. I mean, the wall is bandited, so no, actually, that you can't do that.
Yeah. I mean, overall, the setup here from SSG is going to leave them very vulnerable to Rogue's utility, and they're set up very well, and by they, I mean Rogue. They've got all the utility being dumped in. There's only 30 seconds left, so they're trying to go for it. Redeemer wins a fight he shouldn't have against Vertical, who is well aware of his position. The Glaz is covering, but the C4 is something he couldn't account for. The second one will get that kill, but that's 2 C4 for 1 kill. Glaz hasn't managed to make anything happen in this round so far. Bosco is just playing with him. And now Glaz will be forced to go for a plant with no time left. He is fully committed. Shala denies it, and that's it. There's no time for the attackers to either kill all the defenders or get the diffuser planted. The round is just over, just like that. Because Rogue spent too much time clearing out the west side of the building. They left themselves only about 30 seconds left to push into the site once they got the drop open. And there was still plenty of utility on SSG's side.
Yes, indeed, Michael. It was just like Broadway and my favorite play, a West Side story.
Because they cleared out the west side. And they took a long time clearing out the west side. Is that the reference you're trying to make, Parker?
Maybe, maybe not.
Okay. So,
let's not try and underplay the importance and the difficulty of defending that site without both a Mira and a Maestro. And it didn't appear like there was a bulletproof camera at all, because the only operator that could run it was Chala, but he had the C4. So that was Space Station relying on 2 things. Number 1, long enough of a hold upstairs in Meeting Hall, which worked out well. You took quite a bit of HP off of the Glaz. You saw that Rogue struggled to flush out Meeting Hall. And number 2, Redeemer keeping those Yokais available, because that was all you had for intel. 2 Yokai drones.
And the C4s. The C4s, both of them landed. Dude, listen, these are professional players and they practice those C4 tosses. They go into custom matches and they practice. But it is still really hard to land that C4. Through the wall, avoiding the shelf, landing the C4 there is a difficult task. And again, you have to have that throw down pat to make it every time. So impressively done there for SSG. Because of that, there was not really much that Rogue could have done, I guess, to counter. They had a lot of good utility to make it happen. I don't know if it was used properly. I mean, the Glaz was not in a great spot. He also did not accomplish anything. I don't know if you noticed, but Glaz didn't land. I don't think he landed any shots at all. And following that, the Capital Firebolts did not deny any utility being used, which is one of the things that it's really they're meant for, making it so you can't get C4'd. You can get those Capital Firebolts real deep, and you can cut off the angles that people will throw the C4 from. But not the case for either of those 2 pieces of utility from the attackers, and because of that, yeah, it wasn't that difficult for SSG to get those C4s out. And calling off the Yokai drones, like you said. Here we go, though. Easy clear into the generator, and the wall will be opened. Looks like with no contest.
So interesting that you won't have any presence whatsoever on that wall. Also, a Yokai of Redeemer being spotted. This is a good opportunity. Get in there. Slash. There you go. It's gone.
You got it.
Say goodbye to the Yokai. Oh, man. Rogue so swift on this execute. They have lots of control, but they will be stopped, at least temporarily, by the toxic canister of Bosco. Right now on the razor's edge with generator wall opened up, heading all the way into bunks. It's a good position as well for Slash to just sit and wait. He's been able to use that caliber-based destruction of Glaz's DMR to see all the way to the rotate. That stops storms from both the kids' side towards the big dorms.
The counter to this generator push is the smoke canisters, and oh, what is this push from Vertical? He gets shut down. Slash will refrag, though, because of the long angle he opened up earlier. Chala from below will take out Eclipse, using those holes that were pre-established from SSG. The attack has been blunted, but not completely halted. Some damage done to both players, Rampy and Easily, but he goes down to Thinking Nade, also coming right up those white stairs. Slash challenging inside a generator. Shuttle also trying to challenge the same angle, but again, those holes from below, really hard to contest right now. Chala is the one playing that angle just inside of Classroom, and meanwhile, there's 3 defenders in the site. Slash takes some damage, pistol out. He can't win the fight against Rampy. Shuttle goes for his own fight, but will lose it against Thinking Nade. A really easy hold there for SSG as they stacked up on that generator push.
That was going so well for Rogue, too. Everything looked to be falling into pieces, and then it just fell to pieces. I screwed up.
I know what you meant, Parker.
Falling into place.
Falling into place, and then it fell into pieces.
And then it fell to pieces.
I know what you meant.
You know what I did, Michael? I mashed the idioms.
I thought that was my thing, Parker.
Yeah, but I did it, okay? Imitation is the most sincere form of flattery. I'm half the way towards opponent.
He's stealing my thing. half the way towards a ponytail?
Yeah, man.
No, dude, you got years to grow on that hair out.
Just a bit of a brief update here. We are currently on the Bravo channel. Right now, Fnatic up 6-5 in their third map. This could be over, and the Aussies could be looking to square off against FaZe Clan tomorrow. We're just a couple minutes away. Don't be fooled by the fact that we are now on map 2 of our second match over here on the main channel, and that first match is still going strong.
Reciprocity Fnatic is definitely one that you're gonna watch the entirety of, and if you've missed the first 2 maps, I would recommend maybe just waiting, watching from the beginning.
Them, you know?
Yeah, TiVo them. Exactly. So, okay, that last round. Rogue, yeah, they were set up really well to clear into Generator. They had that wall open, they had control, but it was a trap. The gas canisters, the yokai drones, the C4s, there were people playing below with pre-opened murder holes inside a classroom and then the kitchen hallway. Overall, everything from Space Station was set up to hold the Generator push. As soon as they heard the thermite charge, they were like, oh yes, please push Generator, and SSG were ready.
We actually have an update for you just 10 seconds ago. In keeping with the Australian theme, the Australian team of Fnatic prevailing over Team Reciprocity, and it will be FaZe Clan versus Fnatic tomorrow, and Ninjas in Pajamas versus Team Reciprocity. The winner of FaZe Fnatic goes out of the group stages to the playoffs, and the loser of Reciprocity NIP goes home.
Wow. Very well done to Fnatic. And I'm sure Reciprocity not feeling so great about that one. But again, they still have that chance because of the loser bracket. So it's not over yet for anybody. And I can't wait to see that Fnatic FaZe match.
That's going to be an exciting one.
Yeah.
All things considered. But speaking of exciting, Michael, we have quite the thrill ride ahead of us, and 3 levels of it as it's Tower.
Yep.
Being defended here, one of the rare split levels that we actually see played, largely because Oregon doesn't really have a suitable third bomb site.
Yeah, so you have to go to either here or kitchen, and a lot of teams will just go to Tower. And it looks like it's tripping up Rogue. So the death of an attacking team on Tower, the attackers just lingering outside. That is the worst thing that you can do while attacking Tower. And thus far, that is what Rogue has done. And we just hit the half-round mark, so...
You also saw one of the smokes from the Capitao get used and didn't really do much at all, so that's obviously an issue for Rogue. Thinking Nade just spots vertical ever so slightly. So the Legion's position is known. Here's one thing as well. Rampy somehow managing to survive.
What?
He's got the Glaz watching through the window. Also, Eclipse on Repel upside down, trying to flush Rampy out, waiting, but it's the Thermite who's on drone. Trying to give information as to where Rampy is. Thinking they'd possibly going to get pushed from the ash below. Waiting to see if he can make it through here. Oh no! Thinking they might not be able to make it. He might be wandering right into the open eyes of the ash. Thinking Nade's gonna win it. No, it's Chala who does. Shuttle gets the refrag. Oh. It looks like Chala will walk away, and it's Thinking Nade's Goomine taking Shuttle down from the grave. Rampy in terrible position. He'll finally get pinched, and with 30 seconds to go, Rogue have to repel on in. Bosco from below trying to hold off as the Glaz entries. He'll possibly see Bosco, and there's a down, but that shotgun's not going to be able to reach quite that far. The Capitao repels on in, and Bosco pops up. Oh no! The Para not able to land it. There's Eclipse to take him down. Chala on an absolute tear, but Redeemer needs to be able to get that yokai down. Oh! There you go. He loses the yokai. It's going to be a 1v1. Eclipse will be vulnerable for 7 seconds. Redeemer, run! And there you go! Rogue will fall off the plant, knowing that Space Station had it. And Eclipse decides to save the KD, and Space Station right now up 3-0 on Oregon.
Parker, what is the death of attacking teams on Tower?
Taking too long to get in the gosh darn building.
Tower. Okay.
We rehearsed that. Okay.
I know what?
No,
I give up.
Call it.
It's done.
Just shut the stream down.
All right, so...
Just shut it down.
Yeah, Rogue spent about half of the round, maybe a little bit more. Maybe a little bit more outside. And
I am upset that we didn't do that.
Tower. Why building?
I'll pout.
All right, so he's pouting. I'm going to analyze that round.
Yes.
Rogue spent a lot of time outside. almost a little bit more than half the round. We saw Vert come in downstairs. Vertical was in Harry Potter also for more than half of the round. He made that on that push. He spent just, and he didn't really accomplish anything. He kept fighting with the roamers downstairs. You know what would have been great? If one person from Rogue had droned Vertical into downstairs and he had killed both Chala and Thinking on the roam underneath, then you got a decisive man advantage to attack into tower. You know Vertical's capable of it, but what happened? Nobody was droning for him. He was solo entering onto the bottom floor. That can't be happening. Someone needs to support him. Meanwhile, 3 players are attacking T3 of tower, and it takes them more than 2 minutes to take out the Jaeger upstairs.
The thing with the way Rogue played that was you had a Glaz and a Capitao, and yes, I will say, it is extraordinarily puzzling that the firebolt from Capitao somehow
I don't know
did
what happened
not
there.
kill the Jaeger.
It was weird.
Very confusing. But that can't be the only reason. I mean, maybe it would have forced Rampy to have to move, and then maybe Slash would have been able to kill him, but then you go so deep into the hypothetical game that you can't get a proper answer about whether or not Rogue would have been able to execute. There was just so many misses there, and I mean, there are a lot of teams that struggle with tower. It's not really a surprise.
Oh, yeah.
So
it is impressively done from SSG to defend that tower, but that loss in that last round definitely in the hands of Rogue. Sorry, we're being distracted.
Fnatic just walked by, and we're.
Can we say what he just? Yeah,
there was an unkind gesture paid.
He was flashing us a peace sign, is what was happening.
Yes, that's what it was.
Hey, Aces.
So
they have smiles on their faces, by the way.
We are positioned right next to the stages.
Yeah,
so.
and Fnatic, they just walked by. They have gigantic smiles on their faces, I'm sure, after that win.
Yes.
So, here we go. Rogue versus SSG. SSG, having already won the first map, are currently up 3-0. And this is, by the way, one of the least defender-sided maps that we have in all of Siege right now.
You can just say it's one of the most even maps.
It's sure, it's one of the most even maps.
Try to skew your narrative, you biased caster.
Yeah, oh yeah, biased.
This is pro-defense.
Yeah, statistically, the defense wins a lot. So I am pro-defense.
People say, oh, you know, you're pro-NA, oh, you're pro-EU, oh, you're pro-LATAM. Kix just wants the defense to win, all right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Do the VOD research. You'll see it yourself. Frankly, it's disgusting.
Yeah, defense has a 51.7 win rate on this map, which again is the lowest for, I think, at all.
Yes.
Thinking Nate playing inside of Meeting Hall. The Firebolt is going to be great in allowing the exothermic charge to be detonated. Bandit cannot trick that, and because of that, you will see SSG fall downstairs. Rogue now have established control over Meeting Hall and the main lobby, and this is a very efficient round from Rogue, all things considered.
Getting this back wall just over top of the hatch, in case you are somewhat new to the game. Using the exothermic charge, it's almost like the explosion is a sphere around the exothermic charge.
Something like that, yeah.
So if you get the soft wall that we just saw the exothermic charge of Thermite on, it also gets the hatch.
Oh no.
It's a nice Valkyrie camera, but honestly, I feel like that's a very common...
It's very basic, yeah.
Yeah, it's maybe not basic, but yeah, or maybe not common, basic. That's a good way of putting it.
Yeah.
2 bodies right now on surveillance as Slash just outside of the limit of that toxic canister. The Thermite will walk right in, and Chala knows that there's one there. But you've also got a Yokai in play. Give Redeemer the info. Rampy's just going to rush up. He's going to slap Vertical down. That's been a fight that's been happening on a multitude of rounds, and Rampy tends to walk away with that one, as Thinking Nate had done good work against Vertical, who's been having a rough day so far.
So little time here, so much utility on SSG's side, and a lot of utility already expended for Rogue. Here comes potentially the last smoke here from Rogue, and still full information from SSG. He knows it's a commitment, C4 goes out, but it's in the wrong place, but the down will come out regardless. Chala gets the spray onto Eclipse by laundry baskets, and there's only 20 seconds left for these attackers to make the plant happen, but still full information. Thank you for the Valkyrie cam, and SSG are in commanding position. Here we go. This should be the final potential smoke. Second C4, Thinking Nade takes out easily. Glaz spraying through the smoke, and he whips out the pistol. He has no more ammunition in the primary, and there you go. SSG, a perfect round, and an easy one at that, defending the basement once more, and that is 4 in a row.
That Valkyrie camera
Yikes.
should be glowing. And just nobody's looking. They were on it that whole time. Valkyrie cameras have that fluorescent blue ring the whole time.
There's no excuse, Parker. I know there's no IQ. Nobody checked it. That's the end of the story. Really a lack of thoroughness there from Rogue.
And this is one thing that everybody can take some salvation in. Even the most common and easiest things work in Pro League.
Yeah, we were talking about that earlier. Remember when we saw the spawn peak in FaZe versus NiP, and NiP were losing so hard on Villa. And so I believe, I want to say it was Psycho who went for it, but
Julio.
It was Julio, thank you. Julio went for the run out on the balcony on Villa. You know the one I'm talking about, the pretty basic run out onto the balcony, outside of Master. And he tried to get a spawn kill because his team was losing really heavily and he wanted to bring it back. And yeah, it's a really brain dead play. That is the description of that play. It's the same thing as like some of these cameras that you will see. Is like, that's pretty obvious. But because this is such a high level of play, this is the highest level of play, technically, with the Invitational. It's the pinnacle of CG sports. You're sometimes going to get away with the really basic stuff. So it's not a crazy thing to see happen, and it certainly worked there for SSG. I don't know though. I'm more just disappointed that nobody checked the corner, man.
I don't even. Oh man. I don't even know. Like, it's there. You should see it.
Somebody should check the corner. Nobody did.
But the one beautiful part was that I think the marks finally came out in the final 10 seconds onto the glass.
So if you put a bandit jammer, or sorry, a bandit battery on a wall, then a mute jammer, when placed next to it, will be destroyed. I don't know if you guys knew that, but you learn something new every day, and I'm sure now Chala knows that. So. NA
jammer, lol.
The exothermic charge will be successful into Generator. And now, the roamers downstairs for SSG are going to be very important. Again, this is the same way that Rogue is attacking the same way they did the first time they went here, and SSG is defending the same way that the first time they went here. So, I mean, the setup here from SSG is perfect to defend against this attack from Rogue, and it's very likely we'll see a similar result, potentially a 5-0, but with full stacks on both sides, it's anyone's game still.
I know we joke about that, but that mute jammer actually could be really consequential.
Yeah.
that might have just been a massive blow to SSG.
It's true. It's true.
Rogue are about 10 seconds slower than they were on their execute on this site in particular last time around. And well, would you look at that? No, Slash, that is not a toxic canister. That's just a piece of electrical wire attached to the outlet above you.
That's...
I would imagine that we're going to have some great vertical play from Space Station, very similar to what we saw last time, and allow Rogue to just walk right in. I don't know if I'd say that Rogue got baited last time, but SSG countered
it was a trap.
Effectively.
It's definitely a trap.
And you've got C4s, you've got at least 2 of them, if Chala and Thinking Nate are both holding the dual nitro cells. And there you go, thank you very much. And the execute will go off. I don't know if that was a smoke canister. That might have fallen through the floor.
It was?
If that's the case, but vertical, just walking right in. He sees Thinking Nate.
Oh!
Goes for a second vertical, warming up. And he's got another body right nearby, but it's Space Station picking up 2 of their own. Eclipse going for a plant, and there's maximum coverage here. Nobody knows. All around the corner, unable to connect. Oh, Rampy picks up Eclipse, looking for another, and they will head for the hills as there's only 20 seconds to go. Bosco playing from below. He's got 2 members of the team to try and stop Slash and easily, but it looks like Rogue might be completely deprived of utility.
Oh.
There's Redeemer. He's got 1 in hand, but Slash pulls out the PMM and he'll have to stick in the middle of the site. Very exposed. Timer running out. Rampy pushing on in. Slash will go for it, and he sees 1. This is a very winnable position from Rogue. Is he going to be able to grab the other? Bosco's got his back turned to him, and Slash gets down. Space Station with 5 in a row. Bosco needs to find that diffuser. Does he know where it is? He does, and it'll be very, very easy. Michael for Space Station Gaming to get 5 of 5. Oh my. What a recovery. Space Station on fire for the moment.
I hate to say it, but that was pretty bad cover there from the Glass inside a Generator. Ah, man, there is no world where Rampy is supposed to be take out Eclipse. Eclipse was planting the fuser. He should have gotten that down. It should have been a post plant. The cover should have gotten that frag. It didn't friggin' happen. Ah, I don't know. The smoke missing there was pretty bad. It fell through the floorboards because they were opened up by SSG. By the way, very smart for SSG to open up as much of the floor as they did because it is exceptionally likely that the smokes will fall through, and they did fall through. Because those smokes fell through, there was no cover for the actual plant in generator. Aside from that, they were going for the cover without the smoke, and it just wasn't great. A lot of missed shots happening there from Rogue, and it made for a pretty easy retake for SSG. And denial of the plant initially. I like the attempted clutch from Slash, but he should have been able to cover Eclipse in the initial fight by Generator. And that's the truth. Now, missed shots are missed shots, and he has had a couple of them this match, but it's not the end of the world. There's a recovery potential.
Come on. The way that Rampy played at the top of White Stairs.
Oh, it was great.
He misses almost the entire magazine.
But he made it work.
On Slash, and then manages to one-tap the defuse planter.
Yeah. I mean, he made it work.
Eclipse.
He made it work, man. That's all that matters.
He did, but I mean, I don't know. It's
well, okay, Parker. It's a story of Slash played it poorly. And he played it worse than Rampy, who also played it poorly. I said it the other way around, but.
Let's play the game. How many bullets can we both miss in one shootout?
I think
I'll go first.
Technically, Rampy missed more bullets because he has a fully automatic weapon with more ammo in the magazine, but in the end, Rampy, he made it work. So that's all that matters, I guess. Yo, this could be an easy kill here for Slash as he's looking on the angle where Rampy is playing. Rampy's been peeking on these corners quite a lot, actually. There's potential for a frag, but ooh, more of those missed shots. Unfortunate.
This is Rampy flirting with disaster.
Yeah, it's really dangerous.
There you go. That asphyxiating bolt is going to land. Hey. Beautiful execution, Rogue. That's an easy clap there for Rogue to be able to get that, and that's what you were looking for to break tower open the last time you attacked here.
Yeah, that's their best attack so far on this site. Already having T3 control. Whether or not they have anyone in T3, it's definitely in the attacker's favor now. There's no way a defender's going to be able to get up there through the ladder. They're also looking for T2. Almost got the smoke of Bosco lingering in that position. The firebolt's going to not do any damage, but prevent the peek at the very least. He's looking for the angle.
Hello?
He's looking for the angle. He's looking.
Hello?
Oh! Oh, no! Easily, no! No, not like this! No, man. So, okay, equalized thanks to Bosco's excellent gunplay and Easley's lack thereof. Chala has rotated over to dorms, and he's looking to get some people on rappel. It's going to be a difficult angle to play. It doesn't look like anybody's really exposed to him right now. But no, I spoke too soon. Chala will take down vertical on that rappel. So, Rogue, again, lingering outside, and they're gonna finally go in, looks like, for T3 control. Ooh, a free kill given away thanks to Thinking Nade. Definitely going for too aggressive of a play. Bosco also gonna lose some HP to Shuttle, who has isolated him in this corner of tower, but Redeemer from the main stairs is gonna eliminate Slash as he repels in. There's still plenty of time because of that. Shuttle's able to come from behind. Bosco, though, still alive and will refrag his teammate, putting this into a 1-on-2, but it's T3 control for Eclipse. He's gonna give it up, though, pushing his way into the site. There's potentially still a yokai drone above him. There's no yokai being played, but information is information. C4 goes out, but it misses thanks to the sandbags. On T3 tower is Bosco, who loses the fight to Eclipse, who just ADS's mid-sprint. This is a crazy situation, but Eclipse is still gonna lose it because Chala is inside of meeting. Oh, I don't know what's going on anymore, Parker.
How?
It was all over the place.
How does that Capitao just get slapped off the earth? Like, if I'm being honest with you, like you're hitting the front of the face mask. That looked like it was the respirator aspect of the smoke headgear.
I don't know.
And then Bosco just turned around and brat. I believe was the if we're doing gun nuts, a brat.
I can't do a brat.
There you go.
That was
Bosco turns around and is like, no, thank you, see you later. And now Space Station Gaming are up 6-0.
That last round, I was all, dude, it was a mess. There was no momentum to that round. It was constant back and forth. And there were so many situations where I thought one team was going to take it or the other team was going to take it. And there was no real reason why, nothing sensible, at least, contributing to either team taking it. It ended up being SSG, but could have been anybody. And almost all of those kills were thanks to a mess happening. I mean, there was the one you were talking about between Easley and Bosco, where Easley misses a lot, and then Bosco doesn't.
So there are going to be a lot of people who are going to, you know, say things like esports ready and stuff like that in the chat. But there's something worth noting here, is that your visual hitbox is not the same as your actual hitbox. So from our perspective, it looked like the gunshot was hitting like the respirator mask, which is not
part of the
part of your body. Yeah, it's very similar to when Maestro's lying prone and somebody will light up his backpack, or Lion when he was played, you'd light up his backpack.
I mean,
it doesn't do any damage because it's, you know.
If you look far enough back, all of these different things used to be part of the hitbox, but that's in the past.
I mean, Blitz used to be able to headshot him by hitting his earmuffs.
Yeah, it's the same thing for Jaeger and Bandit.
You're gonna get your bell rung if somebody grazes your head with a bullet and it hits your earmuff. That's gonna hurt. It's not gonna kill you.
Yeah. So the hitboxes now are real, you know, person-sized.
Yes.
So all of the stuff you're wearing, the gear, technically shouldn't be part of the hitbox.
So you can shoot like the mask parts of the SAS operators that protrude from their face, and it's not a headshot because it's not actually their head. So I think that's what was happening, and then Bosco turned around, and as I said, it just he's dead. So Space Station will move on to attack. They'll bring an interesting strategy here. Go for soft destruction up top.
Yeah,
obviously it's going to be a Dorms defense. And I think if you're Rogue, you got to do that, right? You got to go for a Dorms defense. You don't want to go for laundry supply room on that main floor or on that bottom floor. It's too predictable. It's very difficult to defend, especially with the absence of both a Mira and a Maestro. You might only have one shot here. That's it. You got to be perfect for the rest of this contest. And well,
yeah. I mean, on match point, this is tricky. You can see that Rogue aren't established as much underneath as what we saw from SSG when SSG defended the same site, but they do have the pulse downstairs. So there's definitely still vertical play being brought by Rogue. It's just not as heavy. The pulse is going to be a very useful tool in this location. You can see vertical is going to be the one to cover pulse from meeting hall.
Very important right now that Rogue doesn't lose their very first player on site, because if you lose one on site, then Space Station have the tools to cut you down, and this, being a Dorms take, is the hardest, one of the hardest sites
it's up there.
Retake in the entire game. So, good start, vertical with one, takes out Rampy, immediately heads for master bedroom, rotates all the way on over, vertical grab a second. Chala takes out Slashug, but a great refrag from Rogue as Space Station will now scramble. There's still plenty of time left for both of these teams to throw the round away. Redeemer will be hot on the case of this Jaeger who's just around the corner. Redeemer, you can't shoot through a reinforcement, and vertical will take his third kill. There's Eclipse to shut down the ace, and Bosco will be just hung out to dry, quite literally. He'll prime a frag grenade, it'll drop on down, gets eaten by an ADS. Try in vain as much as you can, you know somebody's there, but it's vertical with a 4K coming alive, and at least putting the brooms back in the closet as Rogue will finally grab a round. It's taken quite a long time, but here they are.
Yeah, so not a 7-0. Would have been the second 7-0 we've seen today if it were to happen, but not the case here. Good to see from Rogue. They could potentially bring it all the way back. Of course, they're just going to need to win 6 in a row, including that one we just witnessed.
Easy.
Easy. Yeah, I mean, we just saw it from SSG. That means that, of course, Rogue can do it as well.
The saddest part for Rogue fans right now, and if you bear with me here as there's some very upsetting music in the background, is that Oregon is not a map that has 3 defendable sites. Yeah. The throw clear was for theatrical effect, Michael.
Okay.
You can win Dorms, you can win laundry supply, but by and large, you're really not winning tower and kitchen. At least not twice. I mean, unless you're Space Station.
Yeah. It's also worth noting that Rogue have not been a fan of Oregon so far this season. Through the regular Pro League season and the qualifiers to the Six Invitational, they've banned Oregon 5 times. They played it once, and they lost it once. It's definitely not is definitely not a great spot for Rogue to find themselves in. On the other hand, for SSG, it's actually a similar story. This is curious because SSG apparently have banned it 11 times. That's ridiculous.
That's Dark Zero numbers.
And they've played it 3 times. Banned it 11 times, played it 3 times. They've won twice and lost once. So I don't know. This is definitely not a map for either team, for sure. This is Rogue's map. So they're the ones who brought us here, but clearly it's not working out so well so far.
Here's one of the biggest issues that Space Station has had both in Pro League and in the qualifiers to get here. Because let's not forget, Space Station were one of the teams that literally grinded their way through the gauntlet of pain and suffering to grab a spot at the Invitational.
Is that what we're calling the qualifiers?
Well, I mean, it's trademarked now.
Okay.
So, one thing that Space Station has always struggled with is closing out games.
It's true, yeah.
The final 2 to 3 rounds of every match that SSG is in, they just forget how to play. And where are they right now? It's 6-1.
They should be able to lock this out, but
they lose this round, they lose the next. I think Rogue has a massive swing of momentum. Yeah. And there's a high probability that we end up going to a 3rd map. As crazy as it might seem, based on historic precedent with SSG, that's what happened.
I think if there's any team that's going to let us go to a 3rd map in this situation, it's SSG.
Oh, absolutely.
If there's any team. But it's worth noting, Echo is, if I'm not mistaken, not banned. And there's a dock instead of an Echo being brought by Rogue on a basement defense. And that's a lot of utility, just not there for Rogue. You can see they're playing shuttle on the tower, and it makes sense that it's going to be Doc here, but at the same time, you know, there's other options to rotate for that Echo, and he could be so very useful here, especially in the dying seconds of the round.
Now you also got Thinking Nade's EMP to be able to try and determine where exactly these Valkyrie cameras are. We see that one is over by the casing that Slash is currently sitting by. There's another one inside that destroyed cabinet that Chala was looking exactly at, and then there's another 3rd Valkyrie camera over by that laundry plant, right here.
Yeah.
So there you go, you have maximum coverage.
That one's mostly for sound. I mean, you can tell someone's on top, but otherwise you're going to be able to just call out the plant based on the sound alone. Shuttle inside a meeting hall is going to go down to Bosco. Here's the 2nd smoke total for SSG, and this looks to be a fake. Just trying to bait out some C4 if there is any. And there it is. Great bait from SSG. And going for another one, but the smoke canisters are going to force them to plant by laundry baskets. The smoke canisters are not in a position to make this happen, but the flank from Meeting Hall. Vertical almost gets 3, and yes, he does! What a round from Vert, leaving just Redeemer. He's in a post plant as Slashug takes out Chala, though. Again, Redeemer in the 1 versus 3. He's got 2 enemies that are exceptionally lit, and he's going to see one of them. That's the Valkyrie. Clips goes down. Last 2 on 1 bullet worth of HP. And he knows he has full information on the fuse plant, but it's not going to be called out. Oh no, Slash is sticking it, and Vertical gets another one. That's 4 for him in the round. And Slashug will get the disable. Rogue put 2 together.
I hold in my hand the strat book from Ranger himself that says, how to mount a comeback on Oregon by going Rogue GG. Step 1, have Vertical get a 4K. That's it, that's the whole book. That's
2 for him, right?
That's 2 4Ks in 2 rounds.
So Vertical's having a good half, huh?
I'd say. I mean, you get 8 kills in 2 rounds?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're doing all right.
Yeah, certainly.
I think that's it. I mean, at some point I'm gonna have to give this book back to Ranger, but for the time being,
you can keep it.
I mean, I went up to
him
before the match and I said, hey, you know, is there anything that you want us to maybe point out or anything to keep in mind? He says, you gotta check out our Oregon strat. And I was like, all right, let me see it.
By attackers.
And there it is.
Yep.
There it is.
We did see it. But now here's the tricky thing. We're going to the off-site now. It's going to be Tower. The question is, can Rogue make Tower work the same way SSG did the first time they went here?
I feel like this is the time in like every movie. I feel like there's a time in like every movie where like your life flashes before your eyes, and I feel like SSG is just having like all these thoughts of making it to the next round.
Yeah.
interspersed with like flashbacks to every game that they have basically thrown when they've been sitting on match point.
They've thrown a lot of matches. They have, and it's why they have so many draws in Pro League. 4, as a matter of fact. That's a lot. That's a lot of draws to have, and I don't know. I'm hoping for. Wow, was that a miss? Did that land on T3, or am I mistaken?
No, I think it landed on the beam actually.
Did it? I didn't. No, it did. It landed on T3.
I mean, all right.
Whoops.
Valkyrie's reach is not where it used to be.
Yeah, she cannot throw those further than any human alive.
Yes.
Anymore. Rampy going to be pushing his way in from the west side, and he's already cleared into cafeteria. This is the best chance the space station is going to get for this first half.
They came really close on Laundry Supply Room. I got to say that much.
Yeah.
They came real close. Redeemer was just starved for info. That was really what it boiled down to, right?
Yeah, absolutely agreed.
Yeah.
There's been a couple of instances, though, where SSG have had players starve for info. And you can see here on defense, that's not been the case for Rogue. They've got those Valkyrie camps in great positions, and because of that, Vertical's going to get essentially a free kill. He goes for a second one, but no 4K for you this time,
Michael.
Vertical. The game plan is being countered.
Throw the book out. Vertical is down. I repeat.
Vertical's down.
No 4K here. This is the time for step 2.
Slashug gets a 4K?
Somebody's got to get one.
All right.
Still opportunity here. Worth noting that Vertical did all that himself. He had the Valkyrie camera on the ceiling fan. That was above the. All right, that's a wonderful way to go down the ladder.
Yeah, it is.
But still, I'm not confident what Space Station has going for them.
I am not confident at all either.
They lost their only set of smokes.
Yeah.
They lost their disruption with the logic bombs. They have very minimal map control, if any at all.
They are not playing very... I mean, they're not playing for much control at all right now. Challenging the Bandit, not winning that fight. You will eventually get it, but it's actually Thinking Nade who gets that
2
down, I believe. Or no, there you go. 1 for Thinking Nade, 1 for Bosco, actually.
This is going to be a lot of trouble for Slash playing at the top because that ACOG is going to do great work from long ranges, but you're going to have to push the Doc into a position where he's going to have to hit the deck.
Yeah.
You're going to rely so much on Eclipse being able to get back into the site, and if you've got somebody there on flank watch, which there is, you're going to leave Slash all alone. And there you go, Slash will literally need the 4K, Michael, in order to give Rogue the victory here. Plant going down from Redeemer, and there's going to be no contest. Slash will drop, just barely make it, and cut down to size. No stim pistol, no pickup. And they will shake off the curse in the final couple rounds as Space Station will fell their North American brethren, and they'll win. Space Station will advance, and they'll play the winner of Empire Immortals tomorrow. That's it for Rogue's day. A pretty quick 2-0 in both our first and second match now, Michael.
Good win there for SSG, and very impressive. Wasn't quite a 7-0, but a win is a win, and that's all that really matters. Now, I gotta say, they were really well prepared for Oregon and Villa both. Rogue had some great things, some great tricks up their sleeves, but it just wasn't enough. And the fundamentals for Rogue were lacking. A lot of things that should have been hitting were missing. Vertical, again, on Villa, when he's playing that Ash, he's entering into a trophy, for example. You know, take out the guy in astronomy, especially when you're, you know, throwing a Capitao Firebolt that way as well. I mean, as much as your Maverick and Blackbeard combination are going to work, everything has to work in order to take a team like SSG. And then here on Oregon, I mean, Rogue weren't even there on the first half.